Hello again. In the previous session, we have run the static code analysis findbox checkstyle and PMD. In this session, we go further and we will execute Sonar in practice in a real pipeline. Probably you will choose between these two because Sonar is also running findbox checkstyle and PMD rules inside. So but since this is just a proof of concept, you can choose between them later. So now, in order to execute Sonar, we need another container. So the first thing to accomplish is to configure this the corresponding Docker image in Jenkins master. Our image is this one, Jenkins agent SO. So now manage Jenkins, configure system, scroll to the bottom and add a new Docker template. So this time the image is Jenkins agent SO. We will also add a label and we build only specific tasks. I will also choose from the experimental option, I will choose keep this agent online as much as possible, since we will want to see the Sonar interface in the browser, and if Jenkins will destroy the container, then we will not have access to it. So we will keep this agent online. We will also set the Jenkins credentials, and we don't have to forget to bind the 9000 port. Without binding this port, we will not have access from the browser to the Sonar interface. Okay, so these are the settings. We can save. Now the code that we need to add to our pipeline in order to invoke Sonar analysis is this one. Let's see what is actually happening here. First, we have a stage named prepare Sonar. In this stage, we will basically try to start or check if the Sonar server is running. Since this container will start once and will remain running, multiple jobs will pass through this container, multiple builds. So the first build will start up the Sonar server, while the second build, third build, and so on should find the Sonar server already running. So for this, first we ping the Sonar server. We have a retry, so we have 5 tries to ping the well-known Sonar ports, and if this fails, then most probably the Sonar server is not running. So we will fire up a command to start the Sonar server. Sonar server takes some time to start, and this is why we have added the timeout period. So we will wait around 4 minutes, and in these 4 minutes we will constantly ping the sonar to see if it started. So basically the first build should start the sonar cube, while the second build should find the sonar running and should jump to the run sonar stage. In this stage we unstash the source code, and we also unstash the JCoco reports, because these reports will be imported in Sonar as the code coverage reports. Further, we simply invoke Maven with we compile the code, and we invoke the Sonar goal. We also need to indicate the Sonar server URL, which is basically the localhost not 9000. This is inside the container, and we will skip the clean phase just in case. Okay, let's see if this code works, if Sonar server runs, and if we can access the Sonar interface in the browser. Okay, the build is started. I will speed up the process until Sonar enters in the scene. Okay, I resumed the video from here. As you can see, the pipeline tries to ping the Sonar cube, and since Sonar server is not running, we can see that it tries to see if anything is running on port 9000 and 9092. Okay, since the retries has reached the maximum number, we will fire a command that will start up Sonar server. Here we can see that the server has started and is listening on port 9000. Further, the Sonar analysis is invoked. I will speed up again to skip the downloading session. Okay, I resume the video again, and now we can see the Sonar Cube server starts his work. Okay, there are a few downloads, and we are interested to spot the JCoco reports importing section, and of course to see if Sonar successfully ends, and we can see the Sonar interface in the browser. Okay, now is scanning the Spring MVC demo project. And the pipeline is done. We can easily spot here the analysis of JCoco files, and you can see here no information about coverage per test. In order to have information per test, you have to use a listener. Is pretty easy to install in the POM file. Okay, so we have analysis successful and a link that we can browse, but as you can see, this link contains localhost. This means that this link is accessible only from inside the container. In order to access the Sonar interface outside the Docker host, first we need the Docker host IP. Notice here the fact that the container based on Jenkins agent SO is still running even if the pipeline ends. Now this is the IP of the Docker host, and I will go with it here. We should see shortly the Sonar Cube interface. Yeah, so there is a single project analyzed, is basically our project, the Spring MVC demo project. We can quickly notice the coverage imported from JCoco, and of course from this point forward you can explore the details about code analysis, about coverage. You can install more Sonar plugins. We have here the bugs, the code smells, and so on. Okay, so now feel free to explore and play with the Sonar output. Basically, as long as the Sonar container is available, is running, you can access this interface, and you can explore the code analysis. Also, you can place alerts, you can place different thresholds that Sonar can use to fail the pipeline. So this is also possible and is desirable if you are using Sonar inside the pipeline, as you can see here. But in order to do that, you simply have to check out the Sonar documentation. Also, in a real scenario, you will increase the security, and you will probably use a database as MySQL instead of this embedded database. You can see that even Sonar says that embedded database should be used for evaluation purpose only. And I think that's it for this session. I see you in the next session when we will install Artifactory, and we will try to push the first snapshot of our application in Artifactory. Okay, bye bye.